This black man watched helplessly as his wife was taken away by the young white master, but he dared not stop it. Soon, screams came from inside the house. His son asked what to do, and he didn't want to look too cowardly. When the young master came out, he gathered his courage and shouted.
Hey!
But unexpectedly, that weak cry brought him death. The old woman was already used to such things. In those days, black people weren't seen as human, and whites faced no punishment for killing them. She came to comfort the boy and told him to accept reality. Perhaps out of guilt, she let the boy work inside as a servant. He was still lowly, but at least it was easier than picking cotton in the fields. So even working for his father's killer, the boy worked hard. Over 10 years later, Cecil grew up. He left that suffocating place. But the outside world was even harsher. After days without work, starving, he smashed a hotel window with his fist and crawled in for cake. The noise drew the hotel butler. After hearing his story, the butler dressed his wound and kept him to work. Cecil was humble and hard-working, much liked by the butler. One day, the butler told him, "A wealthy guest invited me to work at a higher-class hotel. I'm too old, so I recommended you instead." Cecil worried he couldn't do it, but the butler only said,
Cecil, we got two faces. Us and the ones that we gotta show the white folks. Now, to get up in the world, you have to make them feel non-threat.
Years later, Cecil had a family. His wife was also a maid, and they had 2 children. Though just servants, compared to most black people, their life was much better. He always thanked that butler, who taught him how to survive discrimination. One day, a powerful man asked him, "Should blacks study in the same schools as whites?" Cecil answered without hesitation, "No, whites are the superior race, of course we should be separate." That wasn't his true belief, but it was what whites wanted to hear. It was by swallowing his pride and yielding that he survived in the white man's world. The next day, his boss suddenly called. Because of what he said, a wealthy patron recommended him to an even higher place, the White House. But when he applied at the White House, the supervisor directly said, "I have no right to reject you since you were designated." Cecil smiled, but the supervisor added, "I can't reject you, but that doesn't mean I accept you." Cecil stopped smiling, saw a bottle of wine on the desk, and spoke of its history, taste, and why it was better than others. All knowledge he'd gathered from years as a servant. The supervisor, hearing this, changed his opinion.
"Oh yeah, you make a good house nigga."
The next day, Cecil started work at the White House. Though only a servant, the position was the envy of many. There, he saw Warner, the one who recommended him, greeted him warmly, but was ignored. Cecil felt awkward, but the supervisor said it was normal, then showed him around. With years of service experience, Cecil adapted quickly, but was still nervous meeting the president for the first time. Luckily, the president was talkative and started chatting. Then, a high-ranking official entered. From their talk, Cecil heard about black students starting civil rights protests. Hearing it was political, he tactfully avoided the subject. Back in the kitchen, he quickly turned on the TV for news. It turned out a group of black students had sat in whites-only seats, refusing to leave, protesting for equality. As a result, they were abused and attacked by whites, and some organizers were jailed for a month. To Cecil's shock, among the protesters, he saw his own eldest son,